Hi guys, my name's Emma and welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be a Q&A. I've always loved watching Q&A, so I decided I want to do one for myself, just in case, a few months down the road, people are new and they want to know a little bit about me. This video will be up. This probably won't be the only Q&A on my channel, because as more months go by, there'll be new things about me. So, yeah. My dog is up on my bed, so if he jumps off the bed, that will be that noise you hear. But I asked you guys on my Instagram to ask me some questions, and y'all did. I picked through the selection, and I have about 15, I think, here that I want to answer that I thought were the most interesting, I guess. So yeah, here we go. So, the first question that I want to answer is, do you prefer tarot cards or oracle cards? Now, I have been a witch slash spiritualist for a little over 5 years, and I only started working with tarot about a year and a half ago-ish, and I've loved it. Nothing negative about it. I had to learn how to do it, I had to be drawn to a certain deck. And I only have one deck at the moment. I have a crystal deck, and I'm hoping to get an oracle deck and a deck that's based on like fairy tales and folklore and stuff like that. That's what it's based on. But to answer your question, I have never actually worked with oracle cards. At the beginning of my journey as a spiritualist or witch, I didn't know there was a difference, but a few months in, I found out there was. And so, yeah, I can't really answer that question just because I've never worked with Oracle before, but I've heard that it's really great to work with Oracle, and I plan to as soon as I can get the deck that I'm wanting. So, yeah. Okay, so the next question is, what are your thoughts on horoscopes? So the general thought I have is not to base people off their signs. Like, when people meet someone and they ask, what's your sign? And they say Virgo, Scorpio, whatever. And they're like, oh, we can't be friends, sorry. Just because someone is a certain sign does not mean they are a good person. Now, if they are a bad person and that does match with their sign, cool, okay. But just because you've had a bad experience with a certain sign, like I've had a bad experience with a Capricorn, I do not write off every single Capricorn, because really it's about the person's personality and what they believe and their morals and stuff like that. But yeah, but I do believe they do have meaning and depth to them, of course, but I just don't think we should base people off their horoscopes. The third question I have here is, what is your religion? Like I said, I am a witch and a spiritualist, and I have been for a little over 5 years. But I believe in, I don't really know the exact, word for what my religion is. I believe in the universe, Greek gods, nature, Father, Son, Mother Nature, Spirit, like I said, Greek gods, the fate, everything has its own meaning. There's no coincidences, but I'm just a witch and a spiritualist. If there is a name for that, please comment down below, because I would love to know, because then it would be easier to answer that question. But that's pretty much all I can say about that. The next question I have is, what is your current mental state? My current mental state is actually really good. I've cut out all the toxic people in my life. I'm currently working on cutting off a family member, but I live with them, so I can't do it quite yet, but I am working on it. I have distanced myself as much as possible. And I have just been working on my craft and working on having good relationships, working on being kind to myself. So right now it's pretty good. And this channel is going to be about mental health and being kind to yourself and knowing your self-worth. So I do not believe every single day will be amazing and great. Like, I will have ugly days, but right now it's very good. Okay, so here's more of a light one, I guess. What are your top 3 favorite artists? BTS, which is a band, but it still counts. Greta Van Fleet, which is also a band, but still counts, and Lana Del Rey. Has to be my top 3. Greta Van Fleet and BTS and Lana Del Rey are 3 of my hyperfixations. And I have quite a few of those. And they are hyperfixations. But yeah, those are my top 3 all-time favorite artists. My next question is, what is your favorite movie and song? I will always say forever that my favorite movie is Twilight. Now, I know that's like a franchise and like there's like multiple movies, but it still counts. I will never hate that movie. It's so good. No judgment either. The first time I watched Twilight was in 2011, and it came out in 2009. And even then, I was so in love with it, and I've never lost my love for it. My best friend can attest to that. We talk about it all the time. And then for my favorite song, it changes quite a lot. And I can't pick between these 2 because they're whole different genres, but right now, I'm going to say my 2 favorite songs because I can't choose. What's Your Problem? No. Wrong one. What Would You Do by Tate McRae. She just released her new album, I Used to Think I Could Fly. Fire album. Love every single song. But I think my favorite off the album is What Would You Do? And then Yet to Come by BTS. They also just released their new album, their new Anthropology album. And that's one of the songs. You can hear my dog rustling. My next question is like more of a deep one. Any tips on how to cut someone off? Okay, so this is just my personal way that I do it. You can do it any way you want. I do it cold turkey. If they are toxic, if they are bad for me and my mental health and even my physical health, I either just cut them off and never speak to them again, block them on social media, all that, so they have no way to contact me, or I tell them, we cannot be friends anymore, you're not good for me, goodbye. And don't give them a chance to pull me back in with their toxicity. Now, past me, honey, it would be so hard for me to let go, and it still is hard to let go. I'm not saying it's not hard, but I've just found that way works good for me. Yeah, sometimes I feel guilty, but it's got to be done for me, so I can love me fully. So, yeah. The next question I have is, are you single? Yes, I am a single Pringle. I just got out, very recently, I just got out of a, almost 2-year relationship, and, didn't end too well, as a few you know, and, yeah, so I'm single. I am not looking for anything online, no thank you, but I am looking for something in person, so, yeah. The next one is, why did you want to start YouTube? I think the main reason is, like, I have a lot of things I want to share, about healing, about letting go, about self-worth, mental health, physical health, body positivity, just stuff like that. And I've always wanted to be a role model to people that don't know their self-worth, or are struggling with trauma, or SH, or stuff like that. But yeah, I just kind of want to be there for people if they need it. The next one is another, light, cheery one, I guess. What is your aesthetic and style? Lord. I think my main one, the one I stick to the most, I guess, is cottagecore slash hippie kind of style, like a flowy kind of style. That's what I mean by hippie. But I also love vintage, croquette, goth, or what I like to call alternative style. Yeah, I like a ton of different aesthetics, and they are all incorporated into my style and wardrobe. I'm more of a cottagecore today, I guess. That's what I call it. Could be classified as hippies too, because it's a long flowy dress. But yeah, so I kind of indulge in a lot of them, to be honest with you. The next one I find really fun, and I'm glad somebody asked me about this. Actually, no one's ever asked me this. What is your favorite thing about nature? Honestly, there's not like a certain aspect of nature I love, but I think my favorite part of nature is just the harmony of it all, how it all works together, and how peaceful it is. I really, really enjoy nature. I'm more of an outside person than I ever was. I love the moon. I love the sun. I'm in love with the moon, to be honest with you. I love plants. I love fucking mushrooms. I love it all, but I love the harmony and the peace of it. What do you think about long distance relationships? I never want to be in one again. Thank you. For anyone who wants to be in them, I won't discourage you. They're hard. I will say that. Very, very hard. Especially if you're like countries away. But I will never be in a long distance relationship again. I don't like them for myself. They're not good for me. I found. And yeah, so I am, like I said when I was single, I'm looking for an in-person relationship. Whenever that comes, I'm not like actively like, will you be my girlfriend or my partner? But whenever one comes around, but they're not for me. But if you want to do them, cool with me. Favorite way to spend your time? Lord, honestly, I like sunbathing. I like meditating. I like doing spells. Worshipping, dancing, singing, baking. I have a lot of stuff, and a lot of those are my coping mechanisms, but reading, I love writing, playing with my dog. I mean, there's a lot of ways that are my favorite ways to spend time. I love all of it equally. But yeah, I really can't choose. So that's some of the ways I like to spend my time. Any family members you are close to? I was close to my aunt, but she passed from a drug overdose about a few months ago. Very sad. I got really close to her when I found out that she was bisexual, and that she accepted me as being gay. And so I got really close to her, and then she passed, unfortunately, and that really tore me apart, and I'm still not healed from it. But other than that, I'm close with my grandmother, which is whose house I'm at right now, my grandparents, but not in every way. They don't know everything about me. My grandma knows I'm gay. She does not know I'm gender fluid, but she knows that I'm gay. And she doesn't hate me for it, but she doesn't understand it. And she thinks that God has better plans for me. So is she homophobic? Kind of. Kind of, not kind of. I don't know if you'd classify that as homophobic. I don't like to think of her as homophobic, but I don't know. I try to be honest with myself. She kind of is. But yeah, anyway. But other than that, not really. Another really good one. When did you denounce Christianity? So, you guys don't know this, but I was and am still being brought up in a strict Christian home. Very strict. You can't be gay. All of the men that I've met are misogynist and sexist, and it's just very, very strict. Everything's a freaking sin. Or should I say a fucking sin? Okay, cursing is a sin. Dressing immodest is a sin. So anyway, when did I denounce Christianity? I think internally I denounced Christianity when I was about 11, maybe like 10, almost 11, and then I finally said I wasn't a Christian, like outwardly, like I told my parents and stuff that I wasn't a Christian and that I didn't follow their God anymore around age 15, almost 16. So internally, since I was about 10 or 11, and then outwardly since I was 15, almost 16, and I'm still made to go to church, still made to read the Bible, still made to present like I'm a Christian, like to their friends or to different people, to the rest of my family. But yeah, I'm going straight to hell. Thoughts on abortion. Okay, so I'm gonna make this real quick. I am pro-choice. I believe every single woman or person with a uterus should get to have their choice of whether they want to keep their baby or not. I don't really care what you do. Would I ever have an abortion? No. Because I personally have had a bad experience with abortion. I'm not going to get into detail about that. But for me, I don't like abortion. For my body. But that's my choice. But if my friend got pregnant and she wanted to have an abortion, I would drive her to the clinic and take care of her. I don't care what you do with your body. You can dress however you want. You can do whatever you want with your body. That's my view on it. And my last question here, pretty obvious answer. Do you support the LGBTQIA plus community? 100%. I am a lesbian and gender fluid. And I used to identify as trans. So I support trans people, asexual people, agender, gender fluid, pansexual, bisexual, gay, lesbian, queer, non-confirming to their gender, questioning. I don't care what you are. You can be a dog, for all I care. Like, genuinely, I don't really care. Like, I support you. However you identify and whoever you love. As long as it's not minors. Or animals. Bestiality, incest, and minor attracted people. Or what I like to call pedophiles. I do not support you. You are not a part of the LGBTQ community. And I hope you know that. Because, no, that's gross. Ugh. Incest, bestiality, and maps. Minor attracted people. That's what they like to use, but they're pedophiles. So yeah, I support everybody besides those three, okay? So, yeah. I support everybody. I love everybody. And that is going to be the end of today's video. It's about a 20-minute long video, so you'll have, quite a bit to watch, but, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to go follow my Instagram, it will be linked in the description below. And my Snapchat. DM me or message me if you ever need anyone to talk to. I'm always here for you, no matter what it is. I support and I love you guys. You guys are so important and so loved by me as well. And I hope you have a good day, a good night, everything in between. But yeah, I love you guys and I hope you guys enjoyed. Bye.